What is happening, everybody? It's the Miami Football Fanatic here again. Happy to have you guys back. And today, I want to talk about the undrafted free agents that the Dolphins signed after the draft, the UDFAs. We got a couple of players here, guys who could maybe develop into gems, and just a couple of really productive college athletes, college players that I think could have a place on this team and can maybe develop into something in the future. So starting with Michigan linebacker Mike Mccrae. I really like this guy. He had 79 tackles last season, including 11 for loss and 4.5 sacks. He has had some injury issues, but he's a big physical linebacker at 243 pounds. Draft analyst Tony Pauline said he's a tough, smart two-down linebacker. I thought it would be drafted the last day. Getting him after the draft is really good value. NFL.com's Lance Zierlein said had thought Mccrae would be drafted in the 5th or 6th rounds. Mccrae is a big physical inside linebacker who plays with most of the characteristics evaluators want from an inside linebacker, but his limited range could hurt his draft stock. Mccrae could be a consideration for 3-4 teams looking to pair a big body next to an athlete at inside linebacker, but he'll need to come off the field on passing downs. So obviously, something that's been a major flaw for us is, Mike Mccrae's biggest weakness. But man, I don't know. Hopefully he can develop into a decent cover man. If healthy, Mccrae could become a backup linebacker with a chance to work himself into a starting contention down the road. And we play a 4-3, so he'd probably be a strong side linebacker. A quote from an NFL director of scouting. He was a dude coming out of high school, probably maybe a 4-star recruit, but injuries have slowed him down. He has most of what you want in a linebacker, but he just can't run well, so he's got good instincts, he's got good size, good power, but just hasn't got the athleticism that's needed. But I really like what I saw on tape of him. I really liked. I think he's got decent speed out there. Pro Football Focus said he's had excellent run defense grades over the past 2 seasons for Michigan, but his coverage fell off in 2017, probably due to injuries, and he had some very ugly games on his tape. So hopefully he'll have a nice role for us on special teams, maybe something in the future. Moving on to another linebacker that we signed after the draft, North Carolina linebacker Kayson Collins. He had 82 tackles, including 4.5 for loss and 2 sacks last season. He had 217 career tackles and 7 forced fumbles at his time at North Carolina. Tony Pauline said of him, he's a small run and chase linebacker. He's 222 pounds, so this is a different style linebacker to Mike Mccrae. It's more of a, like he said, a chase linebacker. It's like more than 20 pounds lighter. He ran in the 4.7s in the 40-yard dash. Like I said, he's the opposite of Mccrae. Mccrae he's a two down inside run stuffer, and Collins is an outside linebacker, a run and chase linebacker. So Tony Pauline, Kayson Collins, hopefully he can do good for us in the future. Utah State cornerback Jalen Davis, the 5'10 corner, is a playmaker with 11 career interceptions, including 5 last season. He has 4 defensive touchdowns in his career, including 3 last season. He had 8 sacks in his career, including 4 last year, and he had 1 forced fumble in each of his 4 seasons and 37 passes defended in his career. So a lot of ball production. I really like those 5 interceptions from last season. I really thought he might have got picked up in the 6th or 7th round, but we were lucky to get him as a UDFA. Tony Pauline said he has some decent stats, but he never really wowed me. So take that as you will. Pro Football Focus said of Davis, Davis was a combine snub, largely due to his lack of size, but he showed well athletically at his pro day with a 36-inch vertical and 40-yard dash times in the 4.4s. On the field, Davis is a ball hawk who looks to make plays on the ball and has excellent ball skills when he gets there, as proven by his 5 interceptions along with 12 passes broken up in 2017. Opposing quarterbacks didn't have much success targeting Davis in 2017, as his 30.5 passer rating when targeted ranked 3rd among all draft eligible cornerbacks. So that is some great numbers right there. ESPN's take on Davis. Davis is an instinctive playmaker who reads quarterbacks, plays the ball, not the man, and has above average ball skills. But he doesn't play quite as fast as his 4.3 speed might indicate. He ran 4.44 at his pro day, and his short shuttle time of 4.50 is a red flag for a corner. Okay, moving on to the next guy, Central Florida defensive tackle, Jameis Pittman, 6 foot, 311 pounds. Pittman had 138 tackles, 23.5 tackles for loss, and 13 sacks in his 4 years at UCF. Lance Zierlein said of Pittman, the rise of UCF under Scott Frost coincided with the rise of Pittman's NFL draft stock. The 3-star recruit from Georgia is a short, stout tackle with plenty of energy to spare. He used that energy to earn first-team All-American Athletic Conference honors in 2017. He had 47 stops, 7.5 for loss, and 4.5 sacks. So that's pretty good for a college season. Played outside for UCF this season, but will likely be a nose on the next level. Pittman plays with heavy hands and a jarring punch to take early control at the line of scrimmage, but he lacks length and initial quickness. Pittman's power at the point of attack is a trait that teams can work with, which gives him a shot at finding a backup role or an early practice squad designation. So we've got some spots open on our interior D-line, so hopefully this guy can stick. Tony Pauline said he's a decent player, kind of like a 3 technique tackle. He needs to play next to someone who's big, who occupies a gap. He has to get a first step on opponents. Moving on to FAU running back Gregory Hal Hal Jr. He ran for 690 yards on 6.7 yards per carry. Tremendous production. Scored 22 touchdowns in his 4 seasons. And I believe he was a backup for Lane Kiffin at Florida Atlantic. Tony Pauline said of Hal, Hal was given a late 6th, early 7th grade by scouts. He's 215 pounds, but more of a downhill runner. Moving on, 2 small school pass rushers. Fairmont State defensive end slash outside linebacker Quincy Redmond, who had 17 sacks in college, and Notre Dame of Ohio College defensive end Claudie Mathu, who had 27 career sacks and 5 forced fumbles. Metha is a sleeper, very athletic but not really strong. He has to improve his strength. An edge rusher on small school level, but I could see him being a practice squad guy. Quincy Redmond has terrific measurables, but he has to learn to stand up and play in space, which he isn't going to be doing for us. We're running a 4-3, but I haven't looked up tape of those guys, but 17 sacks in college, that's pretty decent production. The Dolphins haven't announced their undrafted free agent signings, but others who have confirmed signing with Miami through their Twitter accounts or school or parents include defensive tackle Anthony Moten, FAU kicker Greg Joseph, so that's going to be the competition for Jason Sanders from New Mexico, and Purdue offensive tackle David Steinmetz. 5 undrafted rookies made the Dolphins roster coming out of training camp last year. Torrey McTyer, Jason Allen, Mo Smith, Eric Smith, and Matt Hack, all really solid players. Chase Allen, he had a role for us. He was pretty good on special teams and had his moments on defense. Mo Smith, I think the Dolphins really like him, but with us drafting Minka, who knows how much time Mo Smith's going to get in the base defense. Eric Smith, a solid tackle, and Matt Hack. Even though his play was up and down, he had a couple really solid games. He hasn't got a huge leg, Matt Hack, but for his rookie punting season, I think he played well. So yeah, that's all the undrafted free agents that we signed. Two most promising guys are Mike Mccrae and Jalen Davis. Two guys I think it definitely have got a chance to make the team. But overall, who knows what kind of gems these guys can be, and hoping they can develop into productive players down the line and guys that can help out the team. Because a large percentage of the NFL is made up of undrafted free agents, so you've really got to find those gems out there, and they're super cheap. So if you can hit on an undrafted free agent and you've got them signed to a 3-4 year contract, that is awesome value. If they're a contributor on the team and you're paying them in NFL and pro sports standards, you're paying them nothing. So hopefully, like I said, these guys can develop into something and help us in the future. Alrighty, guys. As always, fins up, and let me know in the comment section which these guys you loved coming out of college, and if you think they're going to have an impact with the team. Alrighty, guys. I'll see you later.